Well, the 2024 year for Altontowers was very mixed. It's a new year, so what can we expect to see in 2025? From a new flat ride to the return of the Skyride and more. With just 2 months to go until we are back riding, let's dive in. And before we do, if you could like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that a lot. I guess let's start off with the new flat ride in Forbidden Valley. Continuing on after a hugely successful nemesis in 2024, the story continues with Toxicator. Take hold and brace yourself because your world is about to be turned upside down. Toxicator is ready to whip up a dizzying vortex of fear in the heart of Forbidden Valley. Hang in suspense and feel the powerful forces at play, spinning you into a whirlwind of excitement and fear. Hearts will pound, adrenaline will soar. Last year, we watched as this flat ride was constructed. Well, at least the concrete structure anyway. Starting just after Nemesis opening, it won't be long before we can ride Toxicator for the first time, and the views that you are going to get around Forbidden Valley and of Nemesis will be great and unseen before. After being closed for the past 2 years, the Skyride should return this year. After us finding out very close to the season opening in 2024 that we would have to go yet another season without the park's only form of transportation, we were told it would be ready and open for 2025. With the new ride Toxicator, you can definitely expect some new pieces of merch for the ride. Of course, we annually get new merch anyway for various rides and areas around the park, and it's one of the highlights to the year for many, especially for those who collect pins, mugs and more. I wouldn't be surprised to see some new roaming actors, as this was one of the things that Altontowers got so right last year in 2024. The actors were a huge hit, and one of the things I requested myself last year prior to them confirming we would be getting them in 2024. I hope we see some new actors around maybe X Sector or Dark Forest, as that would be so good, especially to maybe tease some new flat rides if we get any announcements and teasers throughout the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some new actors for the Phalanx or around the Nemesis story to do with Toxicator, especially near the start of the season and especially for the opening day of that ride. With 2026 at the moment seeing 2 brand new roller coasters arrive at Altontowers, Project Horizon and Project Sunshine, I would expect to see work around the areas of both of these coasters if we are going to get them in 2026. Although I still have my doubts on Project Horizon, with it being such a big ride and there being very little done on it so far, I don't see a 2026 opening, or definitely not at the start of the season. I do have a plan to make a video about both of these new coasters though later this month, so stay tuned for that. Events this year seem to be a little barren at the moment, but I expect to see some announcements later this month or into February, close to that season. We have got Alton After Dark confirmed though, which was a great event last year. The first 3 weekends in March, and sadly a return back to partially open weeks with the start of the season seeing the park only open on weekends. I guess at least it is Alton After Dark. Personally, I'm really sad about this, as I did enjoy the off-peak midweek ride in March. It was one of my favourite times to visit, and I'm sure for many that is going to be missed. Pirate Takeover is back, running from February 15th to February 23rd. A very popular event with families, and one we plan to cover here on the channel for the first time ever later on this year. No other events are confirmed at the moment, but of course you could expect Scarefest. That's definitely coming back later this year to end the 2025 season. Now time for some speculation of things that I think are likely to come in 2025 but aren't confirmed. So I honestly think sometime this year we'll be seeing some announcements or teasers regarding more flat rides at the park. X Sector and Dark Forest being the urgent areas that need some work immediately, especially as, again, actually having a loss on flat rides this year. We've lost 2 flat rides and gained Toxicator. I still think it's a very weird decision to get rid of Blade. We 100% need more flat rides, and I do feel at some point this year we'll get a teaser or announcement, something a bit like last year with Toxicator, and these will hopefully open for 2026. I doubt we would see a new flat ride in 2025 outside of Toxicator unless it was very, very simple, although the areas around the park are ready to be developed on, so who knows. I also believe we will have less events this year, with the recent cuts at Mern Entertainment and both Thorpe and Altontowers yet to have any big event announcements. I feel we will see some cutbacks this year. I'd even put Oktoberfest possibly in doubt. It's been here for a few years now. Maybe they might get rid of it and bring a new event in next year. Yes, and no events will be announced later on close to the season, but I do feel we could see some cutbacks, and they have practically made the Christmas event a nothing event for the last few years, so it seems very clear that they want to pull back on the amount of events they do, as maybe they aren't as profitable as Merlin would like. Who knows? Now that's all for me today. What do you think about 2025 at Altontowers? I feel it's definitely a lot more of a quieter year in comparison to 2024, but if that means we get a huge 2026, and I'm okay with that, Can't wait to get back at the park and ride in just 2 months' time. Come on, 2025 season.